Guys, it's me again. Man, I look rough in this bright light. I need to go back in the shade. All right, so this is day 7. All right, this is Daisy. Remember Daisy? She wants to be involved. This is day 7, and we are going to work on a little bit of value right now. Not a lot, just a little bit. So I'm telling you what I have. I know you might not have it, but what I have with me right now, I have my HB that I've been using. I have a 4B, and I have a 6B. I'm probably going to stick with the 4B today because we're not going too dark yet. I also have my white eraser, and I have a kneaded eraser as well. And that's really good when we start value, because if you don't want to erase it, just pull it up a little bit. This is good to use. I also have a tissue and a Q-tip, because I don't have any blending stumps. But as I've told you guys before, I don't really like to blend much anyway, but these might be some things that you want with you. So we're not doing a ton today. I'm going to take my 4B. If you don't have any drawing pencils, please use whatever you have. I'm going to get you so you're kind of looking at me and my drawing at the same time. So I have my drawing, which right now just kind of looks like, if anything, a coloring book drawing of myself. Again, I'm not dealing with my hair yet because I'll pull my hair back when that time comes, like it is the first day. But what I want to do now is I just want to put in a few value spots, some of the more obvious ones. So I'll be dealing with the value under the lip. I'll be dealing with the value on the top lip. I'll be dealing with the value and the iris color of the eyes. We'll start with those. If your eyes are extremely dark, and some of you do, as I'm looking at your drawings and going along with you, they're very, very dark. You're not going to see much of a difference between the iris and the pupil. If anything, they're going to look like black pools almost, but with the highlight. So don't fret about trying to make a difference between the iris and the pupil if they're almost black, because it's not there. People looking at you don't see your pupils. They just see your big, beautiful, dark eyes, and just draw, fill them in. Okay, so I'm going to start. I'm in front of my mirror, as I told you, you should always be. See how I can do this. It's hard as far as my placement right now. I might have to go back inside at some point because I'm in such bright light. I mean, that's not true. I should be able to do it in bright light as well, correct? But I don't have a lot of value change in places where I normally would because the light is diffused and coming from everywhere. I'm out on the back porch. There's 3 of the walls are open. But I'm going to look in the mirror, and I'm going to look at first on the bottom part of my lip, and I want to see what the shape is of that little shadow there. And I'm going to go ahead and try to get that in. So as I said, right now, it's pretty not there, but it's not much on me. It's right under my lip. Some of you will find that it goes further down. Some of you will have a whole finger's worth of shadow right there. If your lips are a little bit further, it's more intense. It'll be darker. Mine's not that dark, and it's not that big. So I've already kind of put it there. I'm just gonna, and I'm using my pencil as if it's a magic wand. We're not writing, right? We're drawing. I have more control this way. So I'm just going to look, and I'm just going to put a little bit more. It's pretty much already there for me. So I don't have much more I can do with that. And I'm not going to. Next thing I'm going to look at is my mouth. So when I close my mouth, the darkest place is going to be right between my lips. And I want to see what kind of shape that forms. Some of it might be a shape. Sometimes if you have that defined, I'm sorry. If you have a very defined area there, it's going to look a little different. You might have something where the bottom lips curve a little bit, and you'll actually have almost a little hole in there from the bottom lip curving and the top lip not curving. So you really need to look at it and investigate it. So I'm going to look at myself. It's pretty straight, and because of the light again, it's not that big. Now it's going to be a little bit bigger on the top lip because the value is coming from, the light is coming from everywhere. Then I have inside of that, I have lip lines, like almost little whiskers that I'm going to put in. And they don't go up that high, so I'll have to correct that. And they're mainly around this part, right in the middle. But this does bottom out a little bit, my bottom lip, so it's darker there. And then in the corners it gets darker. Now, with the way the light is right now, I have it a little darker over the entire top. Now, when I do that, I'm going to make sure that my lip is as dark as my lip line, because I don't want it to look like I have lip liner on or that I'm wearing lipstick. So it's going to be very faint, and I'm going to cover the whole area very, very lightly. Side of my pencil, holding my pencil as if it's a baton or a magic wand. That's it. If I look at the bottom lip, I have a ridge of shadow along the bottom, and I'm going to put that in. It goes along my lip line, and it goes into the corner. It's a little bit darker here. But then, once we get to this part of my lip, and you can see it just by looking at me now, there is a highlight that goes right across the bottom. I do have chapstick on, so that's going to reflect the light a little bit more. And I'm not trying to perfect this yet. When you're drawing, you kind of want to do your entire drawing. You don't want to perfect one spot and then find that something's wrong and you have to restart. So you keep working the whole picture, and as you're doing that, you'll be able to see if there's anything that needs adjusting. So I'm going to put a little bit of value on the bottom and along the lip line, like I said. Now I have a very, very bright light line around there, but I'm not dealing with that yet, so I don't want to put that in. And then we have this, okay. But my bottom lip flattens out on the very bottom, so I just want that to be obvious. So that's all I'm doing for my mouth at this time. The next thing that I want to do is I want to deal with my eyes. So I can start without looking at myself, because the one thing I do know is that my pupils are black. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to draw my pupils in black. Now I'm making sure to avoid my highlight. Make sure your highlight's big enough that you don't accidentally just wipe it out when you're going over it, because it's really, really important. It does add a lot of life to it. So the first thing I'm doing is just putting the pupils in. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to look. So my eyes are very, 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 very pale. A lot of people with blue eyes have a very dark rim around it, which makes them really pretty, and I don't have that. They're pretty pale all the way to the outside. So I'm just going to put some value in. I do have a lighter area on the inside, but I can go back. If I put the value in solidly, avoiding the highlight, I'm just going lightly because I do have light eyes. I want to take it as dark as my edge, because I don't want that edge in there, because I don't have it. I wish I did. And I'm going to do it over here too. Again, I'm making it as dark as my edge, but I drew kind of light. You guys were getting a little dark on me. Really try to keep this light. You can always go darker, and I will tell you to go darker, believe me. But in these beginning steps, you should really keep it nice and light in case there's adjustments you need to make or you're not quite sure of something. I'm going to darken this top lid on both because it kind of gets lost. And eventually I'm going to put the shadow in because there is a shadow on, I don't know if I can see it in this. Yeah, you can see it. So there is a shadow at the top of my eye, right underneath the eyelid. And I'll put that in as well eventually. But for now, I'm just taking care of this step. So, okay. So I have it, I probably want it a little bit darker on the outside, not a ton. I hope that those of you who I've sent emails to with examples of drawings, I hope that's helping in some way. If you want that for a specific step, please let me know. I will do it for you as well. I want you to attempt it first because it all comes from observation. But if you're not quite seeing it clearly, it does kind of help to see it from somebody else's point of view. All right, I'm going to make the top darker because we now know there is a shadow. I'll put that in now. Just on the iris. I'm not going to do it on the white yet. I'm just using the side of my pencil, and this is where some of you might prefer to blend. I don't. I like to just use the pencil to make it darker. I like to actually see that it's a drawing, you know. And there are little striations in there that I can put in. I don't know if you remember that we did that when we drew our eyes together. I'm going to put them in a little bit, but I'm not going to go crazy. Notice I'm looking at myself more than at my drawing. Okay, so if you look, you'll see it's darker on the outside than on the inside, which is what happens in my eye. This isn't going to look like everybody else's eye. This is my eye. I really want you guys to start looking at yourselves a little bit more. It seems that some of you are just doing symbols of eyes and not actually really investigating your own face. You really have to look at it, and I don't know if you remember when we did contour drawing, but how you had to follow the lines with your eye and your pencil at the same time. That's what you want to do. So you're going to try to do that. So today, all I really want you to do, I want you to add some value to the mouth, and I want you to add some value to the eyes and put your irises in. But be aware, my irises look a little wonky. I might have to fix that. Be aware if what yours looks like. I don't want you to go beyond that. If your eyes are black, make them black. It's okay. I think that's really probably, I don't know. I really like the dark eyes. I get kind of lost in them sometimes. So this is all we're doing today. Just a little bit. And know that your mouth isn't going to be done. We're still going to go back. So the next step, so this is step 7. You should not be on this step if you've not gotten approved for step 6. For step 8, we'll deal with your nose. I know that some of you get a little freaked out by your nose because there isn't a lot of line in there. So depending on value only can be intimidating, but we'll deal with your nose a little bit and maybe put some, oh my God, put some of my wrinkles in, some of your neck in. So that's all it is today. I hope you guys are doing well. I really miss you. I'm sorry that we're not going to be back together. I'm especially sorry to my seniors who I might not see again. So take care of yourself and let me see your drawings and let me know if you need any help.